Welcome back on YouTube. We're recording. And what are we doing? Go for it, mate. I'm going for it. Right, let's bring the Brahms. Okay? We've sort of screwed around for enough time right now. Let's bring the Brahms. Okay, so over here in synths, there's a library, a free library that's called Big Bang Orchestra. Well, they have a free version. And what this free version does, it does one thing really cool so far that I found. I'm going to set it to the synths because that's where I usually put it. Free basics, Big Bang Orchestra. Right. And it has, the cool thing about this is that it has more articulations than you'd have in the BBC SO Discover, right? It has short notes, long notes, it has fast runs. How do the fast runs sound, actually? Which is awesome, but that's not what you came here for. What you came here for is something that is called, when writing these scores, it's called marcato. I don't know what it means, but I do know what it does. And what it does is it's basically players playing very aggressively with a very strong attack and sort of then tapering off or maintaining that energy. It depends on how you do it. So, and this is from Vienna, from Vienna Symphonic Library, right? And this free version is basically like the whole orchestra playing at once the note that you're putting in, right? And it's marcato sounds like this. Yeah, you hear that short sort of attack. But here's the cool thing. When you go lower, and if you go even lower, and I believe, chat, this is at least one of the things you came here for. Not that you know that you'd get here to this point exactly, but here we are. And what we're going to do is pretty basic. We're going to layer our sort of brass with these aggressive Brahms. Now, people who have much more taste than I wouldn't do this, right? But I am going to do it because I like it. Okay, I know that didn't sound great because for one thing I did not play perfectly and for another we've got that lag thing going on, but once we manage to fix those issues, check this out. Let me just fix that note, sorry. Okay, but we need to do some finessing with it because it's not sounding super great, and it's also kind of messing with the mix of the orchestra. Like the BBC SO being sort of softer library, it's being overpowered by this huge sort of blam thing. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it down a notch. Quite a few notches, actually. Another thing that we're gonna do, and let's see, just see how that level fits. Okay. Let's check out the long notes a little bit and see like the difference between the marcato and the long notes. Okay. I'm digging that. But there's one thing I'd like to do with this, is, aside from just quantizing everything so that it doesn't mess with the tempo, is that I would like to slowly bring this up a couple of dB. Why with automation, and why I'm doing this is because what I want to do with this exactly with this marcato is swelling, right? We're gonna do something else to kind of bring in that sort of sharp attack, but I don't feel like this is the place for it. Again, kind of going back to maybe I should have a little more taste than I do, but let's slowly bring this up, and that way it'll also breathe a bit better with the orchestra. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm adding automation over here. Like this lane over here is the volume for this Big Bang orchestra, which truly sounds phenomenal. I mean, again, and it's a totally free plugin. Okay, and then we'll bring it back down, and now we should be able to hear this orchestra, this instrument blend a little bit more with the whole sort of orchestra, right? How is that sounding, chat? Are we liking that? Does that feel good? That feels good to me, at least. What do you guys think? The really cool thing about mixing up libraries like this is that if you do it subtly, it doesn't sound weird. Now it might kind of sounds weird because we need to do something else to this brass over here, and I'll show you in just a sec. But if you do it properly, it should just make the whole orchestra sound bigger, right? And it shouldn't sound like you just plopped in a library and everybody knows what you're doing in there, right? So yeah, I know about Scalar 2. I think we're talking about the same thing, Decarmish. Yeah. It's cool. I think it's something from like Orchestral Tools, right? And basically you can't really play any notes you want. You select a chord and just play that. Sir Andre, thank you. Iridian Seeker says it sounds brilliant. Yeah, but I pay you to say that, so. Mech, most important part is for it to sound good to you first, right? But yes, yeah, it does sound cool. To me, at least. Yeah. It keeps you on track. Scalar 2. Wait, Scalar 2 is something else, isn't it? It's Empower. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dikarmish, but what I'm doing lately actually is a bit different. I used to write very to the grid when it comes to key changes. I wouldn't change keys almost never. But lately I've been trying to start just with like a piano and just playing whatever gathers my fancy without thinking about theory or anything like that. You see I have this key zone over here, which I played terribly. And this is where this song kind of started. And I just want to play something on the piano, not think about keys, not think about anything, to kind of get me out of my comfort zone. I'm really comfortable with playing in a single key, and I know I know the minor scale top to bottom, it's fine. And I can play it in any place, but I want to get out of that, right? I want to mix chords. I don't know that much theory, so I don't really care. I just want to go nuts, right? And then we'll figure it out. Then maybe I would bring it back to minor when I feel comfortable, when I want to do a chorus, right? But when I don't, when I just want to do something, I start out and just go nuts. Cool. Let's fix this brass, right? I don't like this brass. I want this brass to sound massive. So I'm gonna solo the brass, and let's clean it up. Okay, so what I did over here is I just EQ'd and cleaned up a little bit of the frequencies that you would see in a little bit of the frequencies to sort of take out the extreme low end so that it doesn't clash with our kick that much. I boosted a little bit of the bass, but I might take this out later because I think it'll clash with our actual bass. And actually, I think I will do that a little bit. I thought there might be some mud down here, but it actually, if I take this away, it takes away from the character of brass, which I don't want to do. I just took away some of the high notes that were kind of annoying me a little bit, and we can see the difference. I'll turn it off and on. I was too aggressive with the sub-lows of the brass, and I don't think it sounded that great. So I'll leave some of the sub-lows in the brass as well. But here is the big money move. We want to distort the brass. Now, distortion on strings sounds terrible. We know that. Or at least that's what I've noticed. But when you distort brass, which in and of itself sounds like a distorted instrument, right? At least to me. When you distort brass, you just make it so mean. Check this out. And it's very easy to overdo this. You saw me go to 100% with the mix. That is a lot. We don't want a lot. We want a little. And we just want to put in over there. The Carmish Fab Filter Saturn. Yes, I know it. I love the Fab Filter stuff. They're exactly what I would need. That's why I kind of tried to look for free or more achievable alternatives for me, because I know they're pretty expensive, but nice that you own everything FabFilter makes. They're amazing. I love their plugins. I love the way they look. I love the way they sound, but unfortunately I can't afford them. But it is one of my goals to get them at one point. And Waves Abbey Road. Yeah, I've heard of Abbey Road as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So now our brass, once it's cleaned up, it should sit a lot better in the mix. And in order to kind of accentuate that, I also need to clean up the Big Bang Orchestra over here. And again, it's not much. We're just cleaning the low end a tad. Yeah, and taking out some of the high end over here, because it tends to build up in the high mids. This is a general sort of thing with synths and orchestra, I find. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Yeah, and again, currently our brass is sitting pretty nicely, pretty softly, because that's what we want so far. But we will want more aggressive parts, and that's where the Big Bang Orchestra is really going to come in nicely into play. But I think our brass is sounding pretty brassy, pretty aggressive. It might be too loud at this point, I'm thinking, but we'll see. Maybe I'd like to bring it down just a notch over here. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool to me. Let's do some quick work on the drums, and maybe we can. There's also another thing. This pad over here that I have in the beginning, I won't be bringing back. So I should, so that I can be sure that my CPU does not... What is my computer doing anyway? Oh, we're only at 60% CPU. Fine. It has lied to me before. It's... to kind of conserve on processing power, let's just freeze. Let's just render this in place. I want to select this bit here. I want to select this clip over here, and I want to edit, and I want to render in place with current settings. And my settings are to also take in the channel strip as well, because we have some reverbs and some frequency stuff in there, and I want to take this out. Another thing we could do is for these instruments that we've kind of rendered in place, we've got this intro pad MIDI as well as this bit over here. We could freeze it so that it also unloads the instrument, right? Pad 1 MIDI, so that we can be sure that there is nothing in our sort of memory loaded. These are bypassed on the pad, and on the intro pad, this is bypassed as well. Cool. Let's see if that... Okay, you know what we're missing? Like we've been streaming for 4 hours now, and we've been missing one crucial element: a goddamn crash over here when this song starts. Now, it might be important, just saying, to have a nice little crash over here to begin with. Usually, I would use GGD, but I don't trust GGD to not screw me over. So I am gonna load it up, and then I'm gonna unload it. because I just want the sample of the two crashes hitting, right? So we're gonna go with contact. We're gonna go with contact. We're gonna send this to percussion. We're gonna name this GGD crashes. Okay, which I hope it does not. GGD is Get Good Drums, and it's a modern massive library that I have. This one I paid for, and it's around $100. They might still have a promo going on where it's 33% reduced if you use Remain Indoors as a promo code, or Remain Indoors 33 or Indoors 33. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's really cool. And why did I get this is because it's simple, it's clean, it only has a few elements, and it sounds great if you just want to use it in an orchestral or more complicated composition to kind of layer stuff, right? We're gonna go with, after it's loaded, we're gonna go with the in-your-face sound, because, I mean, why not? And all I want to do is just record the dank crashes, right? So I'm just gonna where you at? Oh, this is gonna be loud. This is gonna be really loud, isn't it? I can feel it. Feel it in my bones. Something isn't right. Okay. Okay. There's our left crash. Because we're gonna use this as a sample, basically, yeah? And there's our... Okay. And then just give me the first crash, and then the second crash, right? And I just want this, and I want to record it from here over to here. And I'm going to render this in place. Where you at? Where you at? Render in place. Render with current settings. Alrighty then. And then I'm just going to delete this track. Yeah, go away. Cool. So now we have crashes, which is really, really cool. Now I'm just going to cut off this bit and just mute it and get it out of the way. For now, we know that we have our left crash and our right crash, and let's hope that we don't forget it. And by we, I of course mean me. And we just want to put in these crashes over here as well as over here. Okay, cool. And now we have an actual crash. Let's see if that sounds cool. It's something. It's at least something. We've been missing those crashes for a while. We really needed to get them in there. Okay, now let's make our drums sound less dinky, shall we? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate these sort of samples over here. The kick I'm gonna leave as is, the first Lindrum kick. I'm gonna rename these later, actually. Let's get a kick going. Import. Let's go with the 707. Let's go with the lower one. So I'm gonna import this over here, and then I'm just gonna put it over here. Now, there are different ways you could go about this. You could try beefing up with more distortion, with more parallel compression. You could try to do it in a number of different ways. What I like doing is first make sure that I've got a big-ass fat kick and snare on their own. And because then when I'm doing is... when I'm doing like parallel compression or distortion or stuff like that in the sort of after the fact, then it's just gonna accentuate what character we have, right? At least I think that's how it should happen. I like this high one, but I like this low one for a different reason. We could tune the snares. I don't usually tune percussion unless there's something really specific I want to do with it, or there's some characteristic that I'm totally missing. And again, this might just be my sort of lack of experience or my naivety, but yeah, I don't know. It sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. That should be the theme song of this whole channel. Let's see what happens now. Let's see how our drums sound now. Okay, I hate these crashes now. These crashes need to be loud. And when I say loud, I'm not goddamn kidding. Compressor, vintage compressor. Let's boost that input up quite a tad. I'm really sorry about this, but we're gonna have to hear the same crash quite a few times. I think that's loud enough. Ow. I'm sorry. Sorry, headphone users. That works. And this vintage compressor is just another stock Cubase plugin. Let's see how it sounds in the mix. Okay, hold the phone. Something was not okay there. A surprise, mother! I can't say that word. Thank you for following. Cheers. Cheers. Welcome. Welcome. We are writing songs. We're writing Orchestral Synthwave, and why we're doing it? Because it's cool, I guess. So what the heck is happening with these crashes now? There's like a delay in them. Did you hear that? Am I losing my mind? You hear it? That means, boys and girls, that somebody did not put the auto release on for the compressor. Let's try it again. Let's see if we did it properly. No, that is definitely not what I want. Let's do a really slow release. Why are you doing that? This vintage compressor is acting really strangely. Okay, so I think what it's doing is that it's ducking the attack, and then it's bringing the volume back up, but it shouldn't be doing that. That's not what it should be doing. So I guess we're gonna go with like a gray compressor, and this one is pretty heavy on the system, but we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna go Slate Digital, and we're gonna go to Crush, and that's exactly what we want, and we want to mix it in. Okay, so I apologize, headphone users, and let's see. I turned it down. Let's see if that does. Okay, let's do the slow release. There you go. Yeah, there you go. You see what when I say, again, I'm not sponsored, but when I say that this slate stuff is awesome, just put it in there. It does what I want. I don't have to stress about it. And let's bring up the volume slowly so that it doesn't kill us. Let's see how it fits in the mix now. Let's just listen to the drums, can we? Because something is still weird there. Zyko 7, is there an instance on top of it? No, there shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've got compressors going on basically like the master bus, but it shouldn't trigger those. Oh, whatever. It sounds good enough, but it has that sort of it sounds like it has a slapback almost, like it has a slapback delay or something. Anyway. Yeah, that's weird. I'll leave them as is right now. Just forget about it. Don't think about it. But how are our drums sounding right now? So let me just solo the drums and you can see the stark difference that happens when you layer in synths. So we started from this drum sound, right? Yeah? And now I'm gonna turn on the 707 samples. The cool thing is that it's not only just louder, but it also kind of distorts a little bit more, and it's a bit fatter, and it just sounds meaner, right? And that's how I like my drums. I just want them to just be mean and aggressive. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stop those. Let's just listen to these crashes. They're driving me nuts now. Okay, let's try a different tactic. We did this trick with our brass, and we know that basically cymbals are made of brass or tin or whatever the heck they're made of, but what if we distort them? Does that do what I want? You see, it's like... And if I look at the waveform, is there like a delay? There's no delay. What the heck? Anyway. Wait, you might be actually right, Zyko. It might be triggering my master bus. Yeah, I know. It sounds so weird though. Let's see if it's triggering this one over here. Let's go just for the percussion. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll just leave them as is right now, and we'll fix it in the next stream, I guess. We'll use some other samples or whatever. I'll layer them a bit quieter though, so that we just know that there is a crash there. It's still better without any crash, so there's that. Okay, so our drums are sounding much better, right? Okay, and there's another trick that we can do, and with this I think we're gonna stop here working on this song, because we've been going for like almost 4.5 hours, which is crazy. It's crazy that we can stream this long. Let's add in another quick sort of kick and snare. And what I like to call these are the EDM kicks and the EDM snares, right? EDM snare, because what we're gonna do is that and I know a lot of synthwave purists don't, or I say that it's not a bad thing, but a lot of people that you're gonna gate that snare. No. No. Yes, I am. I'm gonna add another reverb and gate it. It's fine. Don't think about it. I'm kidding. I'm gonna work on that reverb too. Yeah. A lot of synthwave artists that really want to stick to this sort of core synthwave sound, they don't tend to use samples that are basically used in EDM, that are kind of the sort of started from the sort of FL Studio type thing. Yeah, they just stick to like Linn drums or Roland 707s or stuff like that. But what I like to do is layer in a bit of an EDM already processed kick and snare to make sure that my fundamentals are okay for that kick or for that snare, as well as add a little bit more life to the drums, right? So let's search for some snares and kicks. Let's see what we can find in here. So let's go to these. Let's go to the future sessions from Samplified, which are really cool. Kick. Okay, so this is a super hyper aggressive kick, right? I mean, oh my lord, it clipped on the way in, on the way out, it went just freaking nuts. So that is a super aggressive kick, right? But we don't want it that loud. We just want it quiet, and we want it with our normal kick. Yeah, it's still too much. It's way too much. Like. Totally. Let's clip gain it a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, we just want it in there. Yeah, just a tad more. Yeah. And that way, and you hear like when it goes out, when it's no longer part of that kick relationship, it just it sort of loses that sort of impact, that sort of, and that body as well, which is what we want. We like our kicks to have body. And let's do this. Meh is saying, haha, done being excited about streaming is so cute. No, you're so cute. I'm sorry. Just really, really whimsical today. Let's and I'm actually super happy that we're doing this, because this is amazing. It really is amazing. Look at us, music nerds and music non-nerds, but general nerds just hanging out. This is awesome. Let's bring in a snare. Now I want a really big messed up snare. Let's see if I have anything in this future session. I like that one. Let's try this one. The first one I like as well, but it has more of a dubstep vibe. Yeah, or a rhythm vibe, really, or something like that. I don't know. Okay, and this snare is gonna give us our sort of body to our main snare, and it's gonna make it sound much meaner. Let's see how that sounds. Let's see how that mixes in. Yeah, you can hear that. Just it's just so mean, which I absolutely love. It's aggressive, it's loud, it's in your face, and when we we get back to listening to the whole thing, you'll see that the drums are much more present now, which is exactly what we want. And you see, I didn't do any processing on it. And why I didn't do any processing on it is because I've already... or actually, I did already processing on it, but we're gonna group them together and do the processing on one actual sort of... But this sounds good. Hold on a second. Actually I think I want to take out some of the high end in this snare over here, because it's a tad much. Not a cut, or actually a cut. Let's do it like this. Okay, I think that'll be it for today. Let's give it another listen top to bottom, and we'll... Oh my god, that delay. That feedback. Make it stop. Okay, let's give it a listen. Let's see what we have so far, and then I think we're gonna go to chat for a little bit. We're just gonna hang out for like a couple of minutes and chat a little bit, and then we're gonna call it a day. Let's give it a listen, shall we? Okay, and that's basically what we have so far. The first song ever done on stream ever. It is the it's called The Escape so far, and we are gonna work on it some more next time. Let me just get in a more sort of comfortable position so that we can hang out on chat. I need to stop the video for YouTube, but we're still going to be live on Twitch so that we can chat amongst ourselves. So thank you for tuning in on YouTube, and subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit like. I think I should have said this already in all the other parts, but hey, give us a follow, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in.